Today we have a big head-to-head for you in the form of the new TaylorMade Qi4D against the new Callaway Quantum Max. Okay, so two big releases from two big brands. Today we're going to find out which is the top performer. We're mainly going to be looking at a combination of ball speed, forgiveness and that dispersion. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about the tech, but it is mainly about this head-to-head. So starting off with the looks, I think both companies have improved massively. Okay, so looking down at these, I would say both look really good. They both look very much like their own brand. TaylorMade looks more like a TaylorMade driver, the same for a Callaway. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick the TaylorMade, to be honest. I think that nice, clean, sort of charcoaly black finish I prefer. I like the way it sits, just a nice and square, but I think Callaway have done a great job. I think if you are a Callaway fan, you're going to see some big upgrades in terms of the aesthetics compared to that elite driver. But for me, a tick just ever so slightly goes to TaylorMade from a looks point of view. In terms of the tech, well, both are different. TaylorMade have got the 4 weights. Callaway have got this different weighting port at the back, which sets it to neutral or draw. For an overall fitting solution, for me, TaylorMade probably wins it purely on the 4 weights, give you a little bit more flexibility. Got them both set at 9 degree, 60 gram stiff, so quite an even test, quite a fair test. Let's kick off with this TaylorMade Qi4D. As I said, I think TaylorMade have done a big upgrade on looks. The previous Qi35 looked good, but for me, this darker finish, certainly in there at that sort of setup position, that playing position, I do really like it. So let's hit a few shots with this TaylorMade Qi4D. Yeah, nice and straight. Good spin number. Again, I have seen that in testing. It's actually quite a low spin number, that 1900 for a standard Qi4D. You'd expect that spin for an LS, wouldn't you? But actually not so much for the 4D. Again, I have got these weights at standard. So essentially we've got the 4 gram at the front and the 9 gram at the back. That was good, 283, pretty straight. Yeah, nice solid hit there again. Pretty decent ball speed, about 155, 287, again, good spin number. My prediction is I do think these two drivers are going to be right up there this year, along with that new Ping 440k driver, but these two in particular I think are going to be very popular. So that one, good ball speed, but I did just turn that over a little bit. And again, you could argue because there's not a lot of spin on it, it's struggling to get up in the air, isn't it? You know, if that was, you know, 2.5, which I would expect from this type of golf club, it might not have turned over quite as much. But I do think TaylorMade have done a great job with this, and we have seen their touring pros. Granted, they get paid a lot of money, but they've all put this driver straight into the bag. You know, Tommy, Rory, they've all put this straight into the bag, which tells you they are liking what they're seeing. You know, they didn't do that as quickly with the Qi35. Yeah, felt lovely. 291, and that looks pretty optimal. Again, look how low that spin is, just under 1600 there, so super low spin for this type of head, but I'm not complaining. That was good. 291, pretty straight. Yeah, solid again. Decent ball speed, 156. A little bit cutty, but yeah, not bad. 54 feet right. Yeah, just similar to shot number 3 there, just turned it over a little bit. Do you know what though, I'm loving the feel and sound off this driver. You know, it feels nice and solid to hit. I feel like, you know, we're well into this carbon era now, aren't we? And it feels like this driver, they're just really upgrading it quite significantly. Yeah, that's the one that's just turning over, that's worrying me a little bit, coming out a little bit low. Again, wouldn't expect it with this driver, really wouldn't. And if you haven't seen my full review, what I did see in that LS was great. sitting that little bit more open, gets rid of that left miss. I did like that LS, and no doubt we'll do a head-to-head the LS against the triple diamond. Yeah, another good one there, 288. I think on the whole, guys, that was good, really good. As an average, we've got 281 yards as an average. Spin was low, 1883, but in general, I was super impressed with that. So now into this Callaway Quantum Max. If you haven't seen my recent review on this, I think Callaway have done a really good job. In terms of the aesthetics initially, I think it looks great. You know, this kind of black charcoal grey colour looks really nice. And in that playing position looks really good. As I said at the start, very much like a Callaway driver, as you would expect. Let's put it to the test. Let's see how it compares to this TaylorMade Qi4D. Same spec, 9 degree, 60 stiff. Yeah, good. Quite a different sound. It's amazing once you hit a few with the TaylorMade, then you go into the Callaway. More of a crunch, you know, and I think most likely it's the titanium face. They've spoke a lot about this Triforce face, but it's the titanium at the front that I can definitely feel the difference compared to the carbon. And just a reminder, it's titanium at the front, carbon at the back, and then they've got this poly mesh in between to sort of bond it together, if you like. But yeah, quite a noticeable difference there in the sound. Yeah, pretty good there. 280. Yeah, that was a nice hit, 285, arrow straight, really good. Yeah, my feeling is this is going to be a close call. I don't think there's going to be much in it. Yeah, pretty good again. In general, seems a slightly higher spinning, which for me is quite a good thing. It seems to be holding that flight better. I don't seem to be turning it over left as much. Yeah, really good again. Yeah, I love the feel of this Callaway. It's performing very nice. Yeah, I really like this. I love the sound, love the feel. Direction seems a little bit better than the TaylorMade. Very impressed. Yeah, so there's that slight left miss, 42 feet. 14-15 yards, it's fine. That shot, I think, with the TaylorMade might have just turned over a bit more. That definitely held its line a bit better. Yeah, strange on that last one. Arrow straight, just spun ever so slightly high. So that is 8 shots with each club. Both felt good, to be honest. I think both are a nice upgrade from the predecessors, but let's have a look at the numbers. My feeling is the Callaway might have just edged it, but let's take a look at initially the dispersion. Okay, so looking at this dispersion, we've got the Qi4D in the white, Callaway in the orange, and yeah, you'd definitely say the Callaway just edges it, doesn't it, in terms of dispersion. I think I've hit the fairway on every shot there, so those 3 left misses with the Qi4D, and again, I felt like I hit a couple of those with the Callaway, but it wasn't as destructive. Definitely Callaway there on the dispersion. And if we just have a little look at the numbers, you can see their club speed's very similar, 105-ish with both clubs. Bit more ball speed out of the TaylorMade, interesting. 154.8 to 153.9. So again, think about your own game, guys. What is most important to you? If you are after a bit more distance, maybe that TaylorMade is an option. Launching a little bit higher with the Callaway, and do you know what, I felt that as well. It just seemed to be launching a bit higher, bit more spin there at 2.2 compared to just under 1900. Overall height a little bit higher with the Callaway, and then distance a bit more carry with the Callaway, 254 for 281, TaylorMade 249 for 281. So actually the overall distance was the same, but a bit more carry with that Callaway. And you can see there the side plus or minus 34 feet with the Callaway, plus or minus 56 feet with the TaylorMade. So it was a close call, guys. TaylorMade or Callaway, which one was it? Well, for a slightly better spin number, slightly higher, a little bit more carry, and most importantly, better dispersion, the winner of today's test is the Callaway Quantum Max. Just a reminder, if this is your first time watching the channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe. I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon.